God, there's so much to cover, like, so much that happened, and I don't want to, like, disclose any NDAs, you know, that things I'm not allowed to talk about. We took the semi-truck up to Arter and dropped it off there. It was a sad day. We had a lot of questions, and I want to answer them. After losing my job because of jealous colleagues, I fought like hell and started my own roadside assistance company. Roadside is considered to be one of the nation's most deadly jobs, with 2 struck and killed every month. It hasn't been easy, but at the end of the day, it's always worth it. So I'm going to try this again. This is an update. This will be the 3rd time I've tried to film this video, and for whatever reason, my camera has just shut down and not recorded me. So, little update. So the other day, last week actually, we took the semi-truck up to Arter and dropped it off there. It was a sad day, having to get the rest of our things out and then literally drive away from the truck. Like, it's one of the hardest things that I've had to do in business so far. We had a lot of questions, and I want to answer them. So, one of the big questions has been, why didn't we use Pink for towing and roadside? Well, I'll tell you what we ran into. We ran into a problem when we tried to start using her for that. We were going to need to run under Arter's authority to be able to do that. And so, seeing that our original plan to hire somebody and have, you know, people run loads in her, or me just taking off and going to run loads, seeing that that wasn't going to happen because we are so busy with this business, which is a great thing, right? We talked to Arter and made a last-ditch effort to see if maybe we could buy tow attachments, maybe we could go do recovery trailers from wreck scenes, like after they already pull them out because we don't have the winch equipment yet. Maybe we could at least drive Pink out and do recovery missions for like wreck trailers and things like that. Unfortunately, and we understand this, Arter wasn't comfortable using their DOT authority for towing and roadside. And unfortunately, with it being a semi, we would have to be under their authority. Or we would have had to start all over with our own authority. So why didn't we start all over with our own authority? For one, we had a balance in the truck. They haven't been charging us. By the grace of God, they have not been charging us the truck payment. God, there's so much to cover, like, so much that happened, and I don't want to, like, disclose any NDAs, you know, that things I'm not allowed to talk about with business deals. But there was a delay in a business deal, so the truck payment should have been covered originally. But there was a delay in a business deal that we made with some partnering companies with Arter. And when that happened, we had no money to pay for the truck. So that was our plan, that was going to pay for the truck. And so that kind of fell through. And that wasn't Arter's fault. It's just, it was a normal, honest-to-God business delay in technology that they were implementing. And their product just wasn't ready to advertise, and therefore we didn't get paid. And so if we had kept the truck, we would have had to come up with several $1,000s immediately to pay for the licensing on the truck and any back stuff owed. And then, number 2, to get your own authority, even if you do it cheap, it's going to be several $1,000s. Like, we're talking realistically anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 to get your own authority. So we would have to come up with anywhere from $6,000 to $12,000, possibly $13,000 immediately to even consider having the authority to use it, and then we'd have to come up with financing for up to $100,000 in additional equipment to use it for towing. So it was coming to the point where it's like, we don't have that cash just sitting around, and we're doing great, but we don't have $100,000, you know, ready to go. So, and then the third thing, I don't have any big truck tow experience. So the most I've got now is a little winching experience. So I think it would be stupid for me to just jump into something I know absolutely nothing about, you know. It would make more sense to start small over the next year, add a tow truck or two when as our cash flow increases, start adding trucks, then tow trucks, then bigger tow trucks, and then we can work our way up to that. But we just weren't in a position, if that makes sense, to be able to put Pink into service for that. And we couldn't just let her sit without a truck payment either. So we had to make the tough decision to bail out of that and then double down everything on the business. So that was one of the toughest calls of my life, because that truck was definitely a dream of mine. In other news, our planned expansion to Indiana, we are planning an opening date of January 7th, so it's coming fast. So with this doubling down on the business, we were able to start bringing people on and planning an expansion into Indiana, which I think is going to increase our cash flow and make us stronger as a business. And it's going to provide a lot of good jobs to that area and serve a lot of customers, because we've heard from numerous individuals out that way that they don't really have roadside assistance in that area. Sure, they have tow trucks and things that'll charge you almost $300 for a lockout. We wouldn't charge anywhere near that, and our drivers can still make a killing. So our job's not to undercut everybody either, but it costs money to get a giant tow truck out just to do a simple lockout. We can do it a lot cheaper using personal vehicles and things. It just takes a lockout kit. They don't have that sort of thing out there, and so I feel like we can serve the people of Indiana and Kentucky much better, and also provide great opportunities for people. So if you live out that way, Owensboro, Evansville, and even as far north as Newberry, Indiana, if you're anywhere near those areas, definitely feel free to throw in an application. We definitely appreciate it. We're also planning an expansion into Springfield, Missouri, hopefully in February. Our top date is no later than the end of February. We're already taking applications for that now. So if you live anywhere in the Bolivar, Springfield, hell, I would even take applications as far as Joplin and Branson, Ozark. Anywhere in that southwest corner there, feel free to email us, info@midwestroadrescue.com. Put in your application early, because it takes time to get you on our insurance. It takes time to get, everything approved. That's why we try to do it early, right? So that when we open, boom, you're like right on. I'm getting paid. So if you want to pre-qualify now, throw in your application. We're definitely hoping to expand. I would love to cover all of Southwest Missouri next. My ultimate goal is to be able to expand into new regions, say every 2 to 3 months. And I think if we do this, that in a 5 to 10 year time span, we can cover half of the entire country, like purely saturate half the entire country over that 5 to 10 year period, which is significant. Basically all of the Midwest, from Texas, Arizona, Colorado, Nevada. I like the desert Southwest. I'm super excited. I'm a UFO freak, so I wanted every excuse to go out there and run roadside. But trust me, Chicago, Wisconsin, Minneapolis, Nebraska, Iowa, we want to be in all these areas. So definitely keep up with us. Keep throwing in those applications. That's the update for now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting everything that I've done. I chose to share my life, and some people tell me I share too much, but I think it's important to share what a person goes through, trying to start their own business and make better opportunities for people. And I'm hoping that it inspires somebody. Hopefully one day, the greatest funeral test, I call it, if I were to pass the funeral test when I die, it would be by the number of people that are watching or at the funeral who got inspired by something that I did. That would be the greatest reward in this life to me.